Am I audible, students? Okay. Now, you make that students to stand up. Blue t-shirt. Yes. When you are inside the class, don't speak in the phone. Yes. Are you talking in the phone or not? Yeah. When you get a call, go out because class not started now. To speak outside up to 9:15. Then you enter inside. Sitting in the class, speaking in the phone, it is not a market. It is a class. Okay. Sit down. You also. Totally out of order. Next day, if I see anybody talking in the phone, I'll send you out of the class. That is the last day. In my class, pin drop silence is required. You have to read the notes. That's all. When you are step in the class, you have to read the notes. That's all. No more other activities. Okay, now then only you come to the class. Otherwise, be outside. Okay, students. Now I'll move to the further. What was our last class concept? Start. Class is going on and continuously that part is going on. It is what? Number of approaches to create an object of ND array. It's the most important base for entering into the further aspects. So last class I said I and then identity. Dear students, I was uploaded in Google Class. Google Class I was uploaded. This I was uploaded here. And some students got problem at the time of downloading. I hope so. You got at the time of downloading, you find some problem because I am doing this in the Jupyter notebook and I am uploading in the Google Class. I'll tell you the separate procedure for you for downloading now so that you'll get the HTML file as it is. Moreover, I am keeping my examples on HTML format. When I am keeping HTML format in Google Class, when you double click on that HTML document, it will show its code. Okay. Then how to download? I am showing to you. And yesterday some students asked me, sir, how to download that? We are not getting that notes and everything they said. You'll get it. How to get it? Within 2 minutes, I'll show you and I'll move to my regular session. Okay. Look at, go to the place. And once again, I'm seeing be in the Google Classroom, not in Google Drive. Okay. Suresh, admin did not give any link for Google Classroom to open the notes. And I found that whoever is not receiving the link from admin, they are having due in the fees. Due in the fees. Okay, that I found yesterday. Actually, I felt that okay, if you are already paid, already there is a admin is there. Send your payment slip. They will verify and they will give you. That is what I found it. Sir, they said some of the students did not pay the fees. That's why we did not give the link of notes. Okay, so Suresh, might be you paid it. You contact the admin. They will give you the link for you. There is no problem for that. Okay, so now we move to the here, attending free without fees paying, it is not a fees reimbursement program is not there here. Okay. So students, now I'm going to move to the further. I'll go to this. Three links are there for me. Three. Because in one link it is not going to be sufficient, all the students. Three links are there. Each link is containing 247 capacity. Three links they gave. In three links, students must come to the place. There I have Google Class. So there I'm having pandas one. Now I'm going to take up. This is our yesterday's class. This is our yesterday's class. This is a HTML version. When you click on that simply, it will show like that. It's a danger. Nothing. This is not a HTML, not a Numpy, not a Python. It is something else. and the student will get immediately tension. That's why students, I'm asking, I'm asking. So I'm saying to you, go to back. There I'm saying, open in new tab, open in new tab. There it is opening. Where we have an option there, download. Are you seeing this option? Download. Where is that? The three dots are there on the top of the right. Download. Here download is there. Once you download, it gets downloaded on the top of it. Go to downloads option. Go to downloads option. Here there is a identity and I. You double click on that. That will open exactly like this. Okay, now this is for daily reading students you have to do. If you don't read, don't download. Don't open also. Well, by opening, if you don't understand feeling tension, why? If you want to read daily, this is a notes. You need to open it. Okay, students. So, my dear student, Behra, Nirkar Behra. So, Nirkar Behra. Seema, Smoranika Behra. Both of you. Maybe Nirkar Behra asked yesterday. Sir, I'm unable to download. My dear students, Behra, are you there, my dear student? Yes. Now, okay, you did it. Nice. Now, for you only, especially I'm saying, and it is applicable for all the students. Shall I move forward now? Okay. Now come out of that. Now I'm going to enter. Like that, I'm having three IDs are there. In all the three places, I uploaded. In all the three places, I uploaded. All projects also of that our module related, course related thing, I will upload in that place only. So try to have that. Now I'm going to take up what? This I and identity I already did. Now I'm going to enter into rand. Already I was explained about what? Randint, if you remember. Of course, I did not send you the notes. Today I'm going to talk about heading called what? Come on. Random module, random module, random module in where? Numpy. Random module in Numpy. I'm going to talk about it. And you have seen some discussion already in the class. What do you mean by random number? What is the first of all random module? What is the random module? The random module is the submodule of what? NumPy module. NumPy module. What is the random number? A random number is one which is something generated and unpredicted logically, correct? A random number is one which is unpredicted. Can you predict it? OTPs you take it. Capture codes you take it. These are all called what? Your Gmail verification, authentication purpose. They are all called what? Expected or unexpected or unexpected. So you can't predict it. And I'm saying the word called logically. If I run my code one time, one code will come. If I run the same thing, another value will come. This is nothing but what? Unpredicted value. So the purpose of what now? Random module. The purpose of random module is that the purpose of random module is that to generate what values? Random values. To generate random values for various application developments. Various application developments. I already said to you, sending the OTPs, sending the verification process. When you are doing online payments, some OTPs will come for security purpose. Capture code will come when you are downloading for such kind of things. So like I'm going to say like OTPs, OTPs. Next is called what capture code. So captcha codes. These are all called what? Etc. This is called Gmail verification codes. Gmail verification codes. These are all comes under what type of values? Random numbers. So in random module, how you can import the random module of NumPy module programmatically, programmatically to import programmatically to use NumPy module, to use random module of NumPy module, we use the following. We use the following. So how do you go for it? Already I said, come on, syntax number one. Come on, speak out. Import numpy as np, as np. Next is called what? I'll say some statement. Np dot random dot random dot what? Function name. What is the function name we are going to see? We'll see. This is one thing. Next is called what? Syntax number two. What is the syntax number two? From numpy import random. Random. There I will say what? Simply random dot function name I can say. Random dot function name I can say. Like this I can say. One more if you want to get it. One more if you want to get it. Like this if you want. This I will take it next. One more if you want to get it. Third one. Third one. From random numpy. Import random as R. I'm giving submodule alias name. R dot function name also you can do it. I hope you are following this. So students, is it clear for you? This is about how we can use it. Next, I'm going to take up one more thing. Random module, random module. Dear students who are coming from Python, in Python there is a separate random module is there, which is closely related to this NumPy only. There is a separate random module is there. There is a random module in connection with what? NumPy. And a majority of the people will ask about NumPy related random module only. There is a slight difference is there in among all these things. Random module of NumPy contains the following functions. Contains the following functions. Contains the following functions. Contains the following functions. They are first. Number one, I'm writing. What is this now? Randint. Randint. Second, please. Come on. Rand. Third one, uniform. Uniform. Fourth one, rand n. Next, fifth one is called what? Normal. 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 Next, sixth one is, come on, something like what? Shuffle. Shuffle. Next is called what? Choice. This is what we are supposed to understand. Choice. This is what we are going to discuss. These are the functions we need to get it here. So I'll go for what? Rand, randint, rand, uniform, randn, normal. All these things we need to take care. And behind of all these things, some randomized algorithms are using. Randomized algorithms. Randomized algorithms also we can explain. Randomized algorithms are there and no need to worry about randomized algorithms. If any student has studied data structures and algorithms, not the first part of the data structures. Data structures means student will think about stacks, queues, linked list, binary trees, graphs. That is called first stage. That is first stage. Second stage is what? Greedy method, dynamic programming, 0 by 1 knapsack problem, traveling salesman problem, n queens problem, Prim's algorithm, Kruskal's algorithm, shortest distance, sparse matrices, NP hard, NP complete, Hooke's theorem, space complexities, time complexities, followed by what? Randomized algorithms. So behind of every core level subject, there is a data structures concept is available. Okay. So behind of every OS development also this topic is available. That's why most of the IITs, most of the NITs, triple ITs, most of the top colleges in engineering also, when any company comes into picture, they will test your logic building skills, especially on the area called data structures and algorithms. And it is a royal subject in the field of computer science. So here, such a type, okay, it doesn't mean that you need to learn it. If an opportunity is there, you try to learn first part and then second part, not theory. Theory, if you learn, already you written exams, memo came, everything came. After that, if you test your brain, a big sound is coming. That is not the way. Coding, how well you are writing coding, that is an important. So here, first we'll go for what? So coming to the point of it. So shuffle. So here I will write it. Now I want to go for entering into the further. Now randint I am going to take it. So Richie, Sumit Raj, I want to join your DS batch, sir. Okay. Whenever I say topic, I want to join in your batch, sir. Earlier, I used to take yearly one student that batch, data success and algorithms. Using that subject, you can learn using C. You can learn by using C++. You can learn by using Java. You can learn by using DS. Oh, sorry, Python. You can learn by using Python because the data structures and algorithms is an algorithms are there. Those algorithms you have to learn it. Mathematical problem and algorithm you have to learn. Algorithm implementation has to be done either with C, C++, Java, or Python. These many ways you can implement. So once you know this subject, once you know the algorithm well, you can use any of the language to implement that algorithms. That's the point. Okay, not an issue. Even the CSC students who completed, they don't know definition of data structures also. Open secret number one, that is. Any CSC students here? Any CSC students? All are mechanical only. Mechanical, triple E. Okay, girls. Some girls are there. Okay, boys will not raise a hand. Go to next is what? Randint. Randint I want to go for it. Not an issue, students. So, yes. So I'm going to enter into the further. Yes. Now I need to go for Randint. Randint. Go to the further, students. Randint. Now I'm going to enter into this. What are the syntax I said, ma? What are the use of this randint function? To generate randomized integer values. This function is used for generating which values? Random integer values. Random integer values. What is the syntax number one which I said? And I shown the help also for you. What is the syntax? Numpy dot random dot randint of what value that gives the any random number between what 0 to value -1. Yesterday last class I already said, almost I shown the example also, but time was not there to explain other part. Is it called what now here? Start, comma what? Stop. That is nothing but what you know. In another way you can say low and high. Low and high. If you want to go to according to the documentation. Low and what? High. It gives the values from where? Low to what? High -1. Any random number will come. Any random number. Any random number between any random number random number between these two things. I know already value -1 means value is excluded. High -1 means high value is excluded. Then next I will go to one more kind of thing is available in that. I can take it. Shape also you can take it. This is low and high, and you can maintain what also? Size also you can maintain. Size means what? How many random numbers you want? One dimensional, two dimensional, and n dimensional. Let me go to any random number between low to high -1 with the size specification. That can be what? 1D, that can be 2D, it can be 2D, or it can be what? ND also. Let me go to the example. Go to the Jupyter notebook. See, students, you can do the same thing by using what Python command prompt also, but always try to work with what Jupyter notebook so that you will habituate when you enter into the analyzing level also. EDA project development also will be more easy for you. So it is a browser-based ID. To work with this internet connection is required. Now I'm going to start with it. So take it as what you know, new, and say notebook. Where you need to start with. Come on, start with. What is this now? Import numpy as NP, numpy as NP. Now I'm trying to create an object of ND array, ND array by using the randint function of what model? Random model of numpy. Come on. How do you create? A is equal to NP dot random dot randint of something like you know. Then I'm saying 10. It is very close. Starts the random number with 0 to 10 minus 1. So if I run my application multiple times, I can't predict what number will logically. So print this A, comma type of A, single value will be coming. Single value is one integer type only, but array are not created. Is it array created? No. So next I will write the same code again. Next I will write the same code again. Some number is coming which we cannot predict it. Again you run it, you are getting 0. If I place it, I want the number. Create an object from the array by using same thing. I'll go to this place. I'll put it here. I want example of a random number of OTP, something like between these two, between these range. 1000 to 2000. It will give you what? 1000 to 2000 minus 1. That will be called 4-digit random number. That I want to treat it as something like OTP. So how do you get it that it is the OTP is coming? This is unexpected. You can't predict it. This is also I'm going to write it. It is a number. If your decision is 5-digit OTP, take this as 5-digit number and take this as maximum whatever you like it. And maximum whatever you like it means it doesn't mean that a big one. Because I already said internally the numpy is designed with what? C language and then what? Python. It uses internal data type of C language, I said. Internal data types of C language means what? Actual data type of C language is int. Even in Python also int is called plus. It is having what? Int 8, int 16, and next what? Int 32. Int 32, int 64 also. Within this range of size you have to take it. I think C language drawback is what? Size restricted. Here also, that is simply implemented here. You want 5-digit, you want 5-digit number, you can go to that and you can maintain a value. This is more than that you can say. And here it is called 4 and here it is called 5. You see that I'm getting 5-digit kind of thing. You try to copy it and again I am going to get it. This is called a random number. Anywhere else in your programming, if you want to get any random number of 4-digit or 5-digit, you will go for what? Randint. You have to remember this. Are you able to follow? Right. Online students, are you comfortable with this? Now I'll move to the further. This is called single number is done. Now I'm going to enter into the further. What is the next part? I want to go for between these numbers. I want to go for mentioning size is equal to what? Size is equal to something like I'm saying 5. So you have to check that parameter whether size is correct or not. Go to what? I said already the technique for you, my dear students. Already I said you go to your Python environment. It is always an interactive mode to test one instruction at a time to verify your documentation and everything. It is most useful. In beginning, I said importance of interactive mode. I said, my dear students, import numpy as np help of np dot random dot randint. Don't call like this. I'm not calling function. I'm looking for the helper. See, ma, all of you here low and then high and then size and then d type is int. And I'm mentioning what now? Low is 1000 and high is called what? Come on, 10,000. I said size is what now? None is there. Now none is nothing but what? It is supposed to give whatever you mention it. Now I'm saying size is equal to 5. Keyword argument I said. If you say something different, you'll get error. Unexpected argument, you will get it. Now, if I say that, see students, I'm getting 5 random numbers of which type now? ND array. Are you able to follow? Right. See students, now I'm going to take up ND array is creating now. If I want to go for something like, some 3 numbers if you want, I will be getting that. It is an ND array here. These things are not going to be similar to the previous. Understand? Fine. Now I'm going to take up this size is called what? 1D here it is coming. I want to create a two-dimensional kind of thing. How do you go for a two-dimensional? I will go to this place. It is a happily we can write what? 3 comma 3. 3 comma 3 I am writing. Are you able to follow? 3 comma 3. What is the meaning of 3 comma 3 here? So I want random numbers between these things with a size called what? 3 comma 3. So it is going to print the random numbers which is of ND array of this size. I hope you are following that. I want one more kind of thing off like this. Off like this. What is that? 2 comma 3 comma 4 I want. Like this I want. 2 comma 3 comma 4 I want. What is happening here? 3D. Two matrices. Each matrix will contain this much. So you are going to get it. Two matrices. This is a matrix. This is a matrix. And each one is containing what? 3 rows. And how many columns? 4 columns. You are getting it. I'm just going to write it. Last and final. I'm going to write it. 2 comma 2 comma 2 comma 2. I will write it. What is the meaning of that? ND. 4D kind of thing. 4 matrices, 2 matrices, matrix 1, matrix 2. This is called one cluster, this is called another cluster. Each cluster contains 2 matrices with the 2 rows and 2 columns. This is about random kind of identification. It is giving you what? Random integer values only. Now, Arun Kumar doubt is also asked a few minutes back because yesterday only I gave you this is meant for what? Random integer values only. He is asking, can I give 100.2, 100.9? I already said that you can do with what? These kind of things I can do. I said already yesterday only. Did I written or not? So presence of mind is most important. If you ask like a small kid, there is no meaning. Now I'm going to enter into the brand. And the syntax is very clear. This is the original syntax of it. Once you understand these normal things, it is going to be dead easy for you. This is your original syntax. And original syntax, just giving like that. And you may not be able to understand. Once if I write a value, which is nothing but low and high, like this. And the size also, and the D type also you mentioned it. Are you able to follow students? Right. And I said you how to see the syntax also. And always you try to work on what? Documentation. Don't depend on X website or Y website. Because X website, Y website, like you only, they also written with their English. If you follow third person knowledge, it's a danger. Directly teacher, and then you need to go for what? Help. Directly you need to go for it. And help all they are explaining parameters also for you. Parameters also they are explaining. They are giving example also for you. Example also they are giving. Nice examples they are giving. Understand now? Fine. Go to the next level. Arun Kumar, I will explain once again, my dear student. Don't worry. Now I'm going to enter into the second function. What is the second function? Come on. Yes. Rand function I am taking. What is this rand function is doing? Taking. This function is giving you what values? Random integer values. Now I want to go for this function is used for generating random floating point values. Random floating point values. Random floating point values. Floating point values between between yesterday 0.0 to 1.0. Between 0.0 to what? 1.0. Did you remember that? మనకి ఏం గుర్తుండవు అసలు. So between 0.0 to 1.0. This is a fixed. You cannot give. Suppose I want my own floating point numbers. What is there? Uniform. Uniform also I will write it so that you will not have any tension first of all. So tension will be solved. So floating point values between your choice. Between your choice. Arun Kumar. So this is called what you know. Here I will write it. This function is used for generating floating point values. Floating point values according to what choice? Programmer choice. Programmer choice or requirement choice. I will take up. So there I will show you both the examples now. So students coming to rand. See the example of rand. First of all, come on, help. What is this now? np dot rand. np dot rand. Sorry. np dot what? Random. np dot random dot rand. So you are going to get it. Come on. Rand. Method of what? Numpy. Dear students, here I am getting the word called method. There are two things are there. Even online students yesterday asked. We are calling it as a function. We are calling it as a function. We are calling it as a method. One simple explanation I will give you. If you are belongs to my student, if you attended my complete object oriented programming, some of my 4 p.m. students don't know what is object oriented programming. They don't know. And least bother about what I am giving. My 7 o'clock students already know what is object oriented programming. If I define a function inside of a class, it is called method. If I define a function without oops, that is called a function. Right? What is a function first of all? Subprogram of main program is called a function, which is used to perform what? Operations and provides code reusability. There lot of content is there. General people will say what within 2 to 3 days functions over. So student functionality is also over. They won't do anything else. Functions totally if you want to learn it, totally if you want to learn it, just for your clarification, anybody was other batch student must be so clear. You must get the total subject knowledge you need to get students. If you go to that functions concept, you see the index of it once mind blowing. These are the things. First part of that. Next is called this part you need to learn. Next this part you need to learn. Next this part you need to learn. Next this part you need to learn. These are the things you need to learn. 6 levels of concepts are there in functions. Very soon I will give my total Python notes to every student of mine who is sitting in NumPy and Pandas. So functions extension is modules. Modules extension is what? Packages. This is the order. Because these are the things, if I write any task in real time, that has to be defined with a function only. That code I can reuse it in other part of my application development. That's why task performing plus a task reusability can be done by the concept of functions. Getting my point? And if I want to make it as a globally to available, everywhere else modules and packages will come. In modules also, extension to functions is called modules. Extension to modules is called packages. That is the order of the subject. Okay. Anyhow, so Srikanth, compulsory I will give to every student. Give me some 4 or 5 days. So it will be set out the links and everything. Compulsory I will give my Python notes. You read my Python notes. You will become number one. Come to back. Come to back to my examples. Here I am writing. Function means Python is one of the functional programming and object oriented programming. I can define my applications with a functional aspect and object oriented approach. We go to AI, machine learning and deep learning, you will use everything in the form of oops. Other than that, you will use what? Functional aspects you will use. So if you define a subprogram without oops, that subprogram is called a function. If you write a subprogram in oops, that subprogram is called a method. That is a part of the class. As far as method and function is concerned, both of them will do the operation and both of them will provide what? Code reusability. But you understand, function and method, both of them are syntactically they are different, but purpose is same. That you try to understand. Now I'm going to take up rand. What it is going to give you? Here I'm going to give you, this will give you, what is this is giving? It is called one type of what? Function in which module? Rand is called one type of function. And it is saying here, you see, help on built-in function called what? Rand. They are saying that function rand, and they are saying that it is a method. Documentation only did not written proper English. Here only they are saying function rand. Here only they are saying that what? Method. Then what student will believe? Just I am saying to you. Okay, now I said the clarity in the practically, right? Fine. So under that, it will give you what type of values will be coming here. I'm going to take up here. Look at that. Coming back to this environment, example you come. What is this now? Rand of what? NP dot rand dot random 3 comma 2. What is the meaning of 3 comma 2? It is going to generate random numbers, random floating point values between what? Between what? 3 to 2. In the middle of it, we are going to get the random numbers. And only one example is given. Let me show you multiple. Here, observe it once again. 0, D0, D1, D2, Dn, so many things are there. Random values in a given shape they are saying. Now I'm going to say, this is a convenience function for the user putting the code into matplot graphs, random samples, and it is giving so much of information that you never bother about it. Now I'm going to say, you observe it. Create an object of array given shape with a populated with a random samples of a uniform distribution over what? 0 and then 1. Did you understand this bracket? Includes, and this bracket says what? Exclude. That's why in a simple format, I said to you random floating point values between 0.0 to 1.0. Without listening my explanation, directly if we see the help, that will become no help only. An unknown student watching this, directly they will say close the button. They won't understand first of all. When you read my notes and then if you look at, you will understand the technicalities. Correct or not? Let's go. Go to this place. I'm going to this place. Here I'm going to take up. This is about randint function. Now I'm talking about what? Rand. So students create an object of create an object of nd array by using which function? Rand function of which module? Random module. Random module of what? Numpy. So how do you use it? A is equal to np dot random dot random dot rand I am saying. Rand I am saying. Please look at that. A comma type of A. Type of A. I said. What is the number is coming? Single number is coming. Actually, the syntax is given in this way only. So what is the D0, D1, Dn? You will not understand. And even it is also not mentioning any such type of example also. That's why you need to read beyond the documentation, you have to read it. That's why these notes will give you much powerful technicalities for you. This will give you what? A random number is coming between what? 0 to what? 0 0.02, 0 0.02 what? 0, 1. 1. That is nothing but 0 to 1. It is giving one random number. Sir, I want only 2-digit random number. 2-digit floating point value. That is 0.28. I want to take it. Not a problem. How do you print, students? I am writing here. Same thing I will carry here. Let me write a full length value. Let me write a full length value. Print off. I think you already know that. Value of A, comma A I am writing. One more thing I am writing. Value of A is equal to, come on my dear students, 0.2 F. This is a concept I explained during the print statement itself. And I don't know whether our other batch students knows or not. 0.2 F. And I'm going to say what, percent of what? A, I can write it. You see this. This is going to give you 27. 27 means next digit is what? 1 is there, which is just not more than 5. it will give you just 27 only. Suppose if you have any 5 or 6 or something in place of 1, this will be rounded to what? 8. Let us take one more example. One more fashion I will print it. What is the another way, students? Print of value of A is equal to dot format of round of A comma 2. A comma 2. I hope you are following me. Round function also you see here. 263, 1 is there. 0.63, 0.63 in this nature. And you go to another one, last and final, you are going to get it. Here I am having 2727 and you see now 441 only. Now you say, now 0. Now it is most suitable. It is 1 only 44. Now you see more 5. 5. What is the rounding of that? 3 1. Are you following this? 5 and above is nothing but previous digit will be rounded. This is the significance of what? Printing 2 digits of that. And you got this meaning. How many random numbers are coming? Single random number is coming. Now I will go to another kind of mechanism. What is the next mechanism? Follow me. Here I am writing something like 6 I am writing. What is the meaning of 6? 6 random values, 6 random samples with what? 0 to what? 1 middle. That is the meaning of that. Print of what? A comma type of A. Earlier it was printed what? Float it is printed. Now I am going to print what? ND array is printed. How many samples? 6 samples are coming between 0.0 to 1.0. What is this object? ND array. Because when you go for distributions type in data science, this type of functions are very important. Any data science student you take it, they should be strong enough in Numpy, Python, Pandas, and Matplotlib. These three modules which I am explaining, 60% role will be played in the coding. 40% is algorithms in the data science you will learn. Algorithms can be easily understandable once the faculty will explain properly. Mathematics problem and whose implementation and coding using Python. That too means NumPy. That is only the data science. As on today, in the Python full stack, if you come, the most royal job is what? Data scientist. What is the coding for that? This only. Without coding, no way to get the job. Now, go to the next way. I'm going to write it. Here I'm going to say. Here I'm going to get it. This is called a random numbers here. And these random numbers are going to give you uniform distribution, my dear students. Uniform distribution. Again, I am going to revisit the concept of uniform distribution when I come to where data visualization. Data visualization concept I am going to explain to you. Data visualization I am going to explain to you. In that I am explaining uniform distribution. There are two things are there, normal distribution and one more is uniform distribution. I said yesterday, a small awareness I want to give you. What is the uniform distribution? Simple example. When I take a coin, when I hit either what? Head will come or tail will come. What is an outcome of it? Either head or there is only one outcome will come out of these two. That is known as what? Uniformity. One time one outcome, one time one more outcome. No. Likely outputs will come. Similar outcomes will come. That is the meaning of what? Uniform distribution. I will explain still more and more for you. Are you able to follow? Right. So this is going to give you a size called what? 6. Now I am going to give you one more kind of thing I am explaining here also. Online students, I hope you are following. Now I am going to write it. Here I am writing 3 comma 3. I am writing 3 comma 3. What is the meaning of 3 comma 3? You see, it is going to give you two-dimensional matrix with what numbers? Like this. If I want only two digits to be taken, happily you can take it. In place of printing like that, I can happily write what? For value in where? A. For value in A, I want to print as it is like that. How do you print it? with the 2 digits, 3 digits only I want to print it. How you can print it? Come on, I want to print as it is with the 2 digits. How do you print it? For, come on, I want to print with the 2 digits. How do you print? For value in what? A. For value in A, I can say. How do you print it? Print of what? Percentage 0.2f, 0.2f, percent of what? Value. Value. It is going to execute. It is, what happens? Sorry. 0.2 f. Comma should not be given, my dear students. So here, scalar value. Okay. 1 minute, students. Not an issue. Not an issue. If I say just like that, 1 minute, I want to correct that error with the help of you. So for value in where? A. Print of what I am doing? Percentage 0.2 F. Somebody is saying comma. Be careful. That is the wrong answer. So you have to say what? This is an answer is going to come. What is the first thing is coming? This 3 na? 3 means what? Random numbers are coming from this A. So from that A, only one random number is coming. It will be like this. Suppose if I say 10, if I say 5, what will happen? 10 rows and 5 columns. How do you display? In our previous case, what is written? 3 comma 3 written. I want to print in the same style. How do you print it? My dear students, 0th row, second row. 0th column, first column, second column. How do you print it now? Two for loops. For loop in for loop. For I in ln of A. ln of A. How many ln of A? ln of A will give you number of rows. Don't think that total rows, because without knowing loops and all those things, it is very difficult for me to explain. ln of A will be what? 3. It will give the preference for what here? Rows. ln of size will give you what? Total elements. Total elements. I hope you are following. Now, I am going to take it. Columns how many? Columns how many? 3. Now I am going to take up. Just this I was written in the day 1 only. For I in range of, for I in range of ln of what? A. ln of A. This is one thing. One more for loop. This is dealing with what? Rows. This is dealing with the rows. This is the day 1 only I said. For J in range of what? ln of A of 0. A of 0. This is dealing with what? Columns. This I was explaining in the day 1 only. Print of what? For your satisfaction, I comma j I am printing. I comma j I am printing. Just I comma j. Print of what? Just like this you try to take out. You try to run this now. What is this happening now? ln of range. Okay. Here you go for it. Try to see that. What is coming? Here also ln of A. What is happening? Object of type ln of float of 64 does not contain. 1 minute, students. ln of A of 0. ln of A of 0 will give you ln of A of 0. Let me go to the place and I am writing. Here you take it. ln of A you take it. Try to see that invalid syntax. Yeah. So try to see that what is coming now. 0 0, this spot. You try to observe it. You try to observe it. What is this position? 0 0, 0 1 and 0 2. What is this output now? 0 0. Next is what? 0 1. Next is called what? 0 2. That is related to this data or not? What is the next? 1 0. Next what? 1 1. Next is called what? 1 2. What is this now? 2 0, 2 1, next 2 2. This is what I am trying to print it. మీకు అర్థమవుతాయి 0 0, 0 1, 0 2, 1 0, 1 1, 1 2. It is related to second row different columns. This is called what? Third row, 0th column. Third row, first column. Third row, second column. It is after all the concept of what? Inner for loops. For loop in for loops. I explained for loop in for loop, while loop in while loop, while in for already. That is only I am using today. I am taking today. I am writing there. A of I and J. I am saying. A of I and J I am taking. With what? With two decimal places. What I am doing there? Percent of what? 0.2 F, 0.2 F, comma, I should not write. Percent of, I should write it. Percent of, I should write it. I hope you are following me. Close the bracket of that and see this now. Print off. I just said, why print off? To separate my data. To separate my data. So I got it. What happens here again? 0.2, 0.2 F. Here it is going to be one dimensional, but you are given two indexed. So it is going to be A of I, and then I will take it what? A of J. A of J. So try to see this now. You are going to get it. Okay. Just a minute. You say, and a round of what? A round of A of Ij, ln of 0. 1 minute, students. Here, why it is not coming of 0? It is going to give you object of type numpy. Okay. Int of A of 0. It is going to give you int has no. So here A of, actually my requirement is I am trying to plan this data in such a way that I want to print in the form of what? In the form of what? 2-digit format. Just a minute. A of 0 comma 0. Just a minute. I'm just trying to do this. One dimensional, but what is the dimension? I will check it first. Print A of A dot end. A dot end. So it is one dimensional, first of all. It is one dimensional. That's why it is giving. So I will take it. A dot shape is equal to A dot shape is equal to 3 comma 3, 3 comma 3. Also giving size of 3 cannot be done like this. So it is going to give you. Understand, students, why the output is not coming? What is the dimension here? One dimension. A dot end. I am trying to take it on the end dimension part. A dot end. What it is giving? But I am trying to use what? Two-dimensional syntaxes I am using. One more also you printed. Len of what? A. Total number of elements are how many? 3. That are nothing but these are treated as what? 3 elements only they are treated. That means in one point of time, these 3 elements will come. In one point of time, these 3 elements will come. In one point of time, these 3 elements are coming. It is not going to come all of them in the form of what? Matrix. The significance of this len of A is only 3 elements will be coming at any stage. So this 3 comma 3 says what? This 3, the elements, saying once again, 3 meaning is what? The elements are going to come 3 below 3. How many sets of elements are coming? 3. The elements 3. 3 elements are coming. In how many random samples? 3 samples. Between what values? 0.0 to what? Come on. 0.0 to 1.0. That is the meaning of this 3 comma 3. What is this 3 comma 3? What is this 3 comma 3? Three samples. Three samples. Three samples. How many times? Three times. Between what? 0.0 to the meaning. Here, here. First three represents what? Three samples. Three samples. How many times? Second three represents times. Three times. I hope you are understanding. Three times. Between what? Between what? 0.0 to 0.0 to 1.0. I think that is more clear. And myself only confused you and don't feel for that. I hope I am giving clarity to you. What is this three says? Three samples represents what? Three times. Next, last and final. A is equal to NP dot random. NP dot random dot what? Rand of what? 10, comma what? 6. What is the meaning of that? Print of what? A comma type of A. What is the meaning of that? Come on. 10 samples, 6 times. 10 samples, 6 times. Are you able to follow? This is the first time, second time, third time, fourth time, fifth time, sixth time. And don't think that it is a 2D. It is called what? A dot what? Ndim. A dot ndim. It is going to give you in this case what? 2D it is giving. A dot nd. It is going to give you 2D. LN of what here? A. It is going to give you what? 10 times. 10 times it is going to give you. If I write it, the earlier one also you take one more time. This part you take it and I'll check it out once again here. So here it is going to be A dot ndim you take it. It is also going to give you 2. So here you print it A dot. What is this now? Shape you see. It is going to be called what? 3 comma 3. Now you try to print it. For I in range of LN of what? A. LN of A. This is one thing. For J in range of LN of A of 0. A of 0. Print of what you know? I comma J. I comma J. 1 minute. Let me print the things like this one more time. So here I got 0, 0, 0, 1 like this. Yes. Now I will go for keeping this as A of ij. When you write it, you try to print this data. Now I got it in this way. Now I want to print it in the form of what? With the percentage I will apply. With the percentage I will apply. 0 point what? 2 F. 2 F. And say what you know, percent of. Try to print it. Now I got it. This is what I expected. Are you able to follow? This is what I expected. For this only, this entire exercise is done. Able to follow? So, if you are following me, what I am interested to expect, this I am getting as it is. Okay, now comfortable now? Right. If you are not comfortable, check with your inner for loops and all. If you want to see that, comma, end is equal to some space. End is equal to some space. I'm printing that this also in the form of like this. Perfect. This example also in the print level, I used to say, this is my original data. This is my original data. This is my same data in what format? Same format with 2 digits. Got it? Huh? This is what I am looking for. This is what I am looking for. If you want to go for, I can write 3 digits. 3 digits. This is what I am looking for. This is what I achieved it. This is which concept? NR for loops. Okay, now is rand clear? What is the use of rand? What is the use of rand? Used for generating the random floating point values between 0 0.0. What is the syntax? Syntax. And it is delay in making you to understand that. I hope you understood. I think so. Come on, what is the syntax? Numpy dot random dot rand off. What is this now? Come on. And if we come to this place, I already shown you 0, etc. It won't give you clarity for you. Now I am writing here. Come on, what is this now? Value. Value. What is the meaning of that? Actually, first I will not write the value. That is my first syntax. We'll go to this. Beginning. Observe it. Here. Rand. Here onwards. Here onwards. What is the random value coming? One simple random value coming. No argument which passed. Here no argument passed. Here no argument passed. Here no argument. Here arguments are passing. 6. What is the meaning of the 6? 6 random samples. 6 random samples. Next here 6. Okay, ma'am. Sindhu, hold on. Okay, now. Don't worry about it. Hold on. Previously also I will show you. Hold on. I will come to the conclusion. Don't excite. Now, random of what? 3 comma 3 represents what? 3 samples. How many times? 3 times representing. 3 times representing. Now I will go for this part. Come down to this area. Come down to this area. I'll write the syntax. This is one syntax. Next is called what? Syntax number 2. What is this now? Numpy dot random. Random. Dot what? Rand of what? Value. What is this value says? Number of samples. Here, I'll write it. Generates random floating point values. Random floating point values. Any random floating point value. Any. Now I'm going to any random floating point value between any random floating point value between what? 0.0 to 1.0. Random of value. What is that? Generating any generating. How many times? Generating how many values? I mentioned it already. I mentioned it already here. Where is it? 6. 6 times random values are coming or not? And 6 times if I run it, these are the values may be coming. Saying that 6 random samples I want. Getting a 6 random floating point values between 0.0 to 1.0. I am going to write it. Online students, don't excite. If you send the doubt, I am not going to see that. Hold on, I will clarify. Let me complete it. If you excite, nothing will happen. You have to follow me. You will understand. Numpy dot random, rand of value. What it is? Generating how many? Number of random floating point values. Random floating point values. How many? How many? Value times. Value times. Between what? 0.0 to 1.0. Between 0.0 to what? 1.0. That is called syntax number 2. Syntax number 2. If you understand me. This is what I am going to take up. Just for a minute. 1.0. Next syntax is what I am writing. Tell me. Syntax number 3. Don't sit quiet and come on. Numpy dot random dot rand of, come on, value comma I for your understanding times. Value comma times. What is that happens? What is that happens? Earlier I mentioned this and this I am mentioning here. This is going to be a big things. So there, I'll go back once again to our practical environment. I will check it out once. Then I'll come back. Go there once. For clarity, to get a confirmation once. Go there. Now I'm going to, this is final what I said. Now I'm coming to this testing. A is equal to NP dot random dot rand of what? Ndim. A dot what? Ndim. So what is coming, ma? These are all called what? Flattening the list, flattening ND array, flattening ND array, whose dimension is what? 1. Whose dimension is 1. How do you take that values in one format of 2 digits? For value in where? A. For value in A. Are you following that? And you want to check it once again. LN of A. LN of A. How many? 4 values are there. Okay, I ensured it. Come on. For value in where? A. Print of what? Percentage of what? 0.2f. 0.2f. And say what? Percent A. Sorry, percent well. Well. So it is going to give you this data. If you want to print in the same line, my dear students, I hope you are understanding. I have to write it here what? End is equal to some space. I will give. I will give. So that you are getting in the same line. This is the fundamental part of our Python. Okay now. What dimension it is? One dimensional. This many times this value will be coming. Next, I am going to enter into the further. I am going to enter into the further. I am going to say 4 comma 4. Come on. What is this now? 4 times, 4 times, 4, 4, first time 4 samples, second time 4 samples, third time 4 samples, fourth time 4 samples. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many samples? 4 samples. 4 times 4 samples will come. It is nothing but 4 by 4. 4 times 4 samples will come. First time 1 sample 4 times, second time 4 samples, third time 4 samples, fourth time 4 samples. That is called 4 into 4. Got it? So I am going to give you type of A. Here I am getting 4 samples. This is a first time sample, second time sample, third time sample, 4 time samples. Or this is a first time sample, second time, first time, second time sample, first time, third time, first time, fourth round, second time, first round, second time, third round, second time, fourth round. There are multiple ways are there to interpret this. This is going to be taken as what? 2 dimension. What is the shape? If we want A dot what? Shape. A dot shape. You can print. For your clarity purpose, I am printing all these things. Shape. Next is called what? Shape. What is the next? Print of what? Size. Size is equal to, come on, what is this now? A dot what? Size. So it is going to give you what? Total kind of things is 16 times. 4 times it is. That is what I wrote it. Same thing in the form of one loop. Are you following? 4 times, 4 different samples in 4 different times. English, nothing is there in that. That's why I prepared this type of the things here. I prepared this type of thing. LN of A will give you what? Will give you what? Malla చూపిస్తాను మీకు. LN of A will give you how many? 4 rows. And the next is called what? LN of what? 0. Will he give you what? Will give you what? 4. First of all, what is A of 0? That will give you first row elements. First row elements. How many are there, ma? How many are there? 4. Are you following me? Yes. Now you see A of 1 0 or A of like this. I'll write it. And this I'm explaining in a further stage again. A colon 1 you say. This also will give you what? Same data. This entire thing in simple way, I'm going to take it A of 0 and I'm going to take it LN of A To take the column data purpose, I am taking. To take the column data. That's why I am going to write this logic. 4. 4 comma 4 is nothing but what? To trace out my elements. That is what I wrote it. Come on, what is that? For I in a range of len of, come on, a. Earlier, I did not write range. Earlier, I did not write range. That is the main mistake I did. Range data type. For what next? J in range of what? Len of a of 0 for column purpose. For column purpose. There I am printing what? Print of, say, percentage 0.2 F. Say here percent of A of I and then what? J. A of J, like this. You can say like this. Comma. What you can say? Close, comma. What is this? End is equal to some space. Even you can use backslash T also there. Backslash T means tab spaces. These are all called core Python level print. Why print? To bring to the next row. To bring to the next row. So here format. Okay, J. J I will use it. J I will use it. So you are getting the data like that. Are you following? You can write A of I and you can write A of J separate like this also you can write it. You can also write like that. Output will be coming. Earlier, what is the I made you to get confused unnecessarily? I did not use range data type. That is only the mistake I said. Other than that, perfect. Nothing will be coming out. So, students in online, some of the goal, yeah, why earlier one dimensional, why now two dimensional? I think I gave the clarity for you. Clarity is there? Understand? Now, these are all the data which is going to come. If I take these samples, if I put it in the form of what? Uniform distribution. By going to matplotlib, if I construct a histogram, it is going to show you the uniformity. Uniformity will be coming among these values. At present, uniform distribution, don't worry. But I'll give a small explanation for you about what? Uniform distribution for 2 minutes, if you don't mind. Did you understand? Don't get confused because people get confused when you get to for loop in for loop. It is not my numpy concept of for loop in for loop. If you don't know how for loop in for loop will work out, I'm not fully responsible for it. I used to tell to my students already very perfectly. If you don't know that, problem. So is rand is clear? Rand is clear. Right. Last and final. For my satisfaction, you tell me. I am asking a conclusion. What is that? 2 comma 3. What is the meaning of 2 comma 3? I don't know. What is that? 2 samples 3 times. 2 samples 3 times. 2 exams you are writing 3 times. Fail, 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 fail. 2 exams writing 3 times. Totally how many times? 6 times. Matrix. University people will prepare a matrix. A big matrix. One day they will pass it. Otherwise, big matrix means problem now. 2 subjects writing 3 times. That is called what? 2 by 2, 2 by 3 matrix only. So, print of what? A. A. Type of A. Type of A. One of the girl asked earlier like that and now it is like that. So, Seema, for you only I am saying. A dot what? Shape. Next is called print of what? Dim. Dim of A is equal to what? A dot what? N dim. Next is called the print of what? Size of A is equal to what? A dot what? Size. A dot what? Size. Next print of what? 1 minute. Print of. Print of. Length. Number of elements. Number of elements. Number of elements. Number of elements. This time writing in another way. Len of what? A. Len of A. So A dot what? Shape. A dot end. Second, So print, name print. No, no, if you maintain silence, I'll tell you. Because your English is international English. Because I am a normal Indian, I'll get a problem. I am an average Indian. You are all international students. Please allow me to do that. For telling spelling mistake, you are struggling a lot. You have to say spelling mistake. If you say, I will understand. So fourth line, fifth line, sixth line. What is that? Are you following that? So size, number of elements are called what? Two. That indicates what is happening. Number of elements means don't think that all these elements. It is going to give you what? This samples. Two samples, three times. Are you following? This is the most important. Number of elements means generally all of the people will think six. No. Six is called what? Size. How many times? Come on. Two times, three samples. Two times you are writing three subjects. That is called what? Here it should be careful enough. Here it is be careful. So here I am writing careful. Take care of it. Is it clear? Brand is clear. Now I am going to enter into the further. One more I am going to introduce. Start with 2 comma 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2 comma 2. This only not getting 2 comma 2 comma 3. Type of A. To type of A. What is happening? You will easily understand. How many matrices? Two matrices. What is that? Same extension of previous only. Same extension of previous only. What is that now? Same thing. Same thing. I am going to write it. Or this is called what? Cluster. Clustering. Clustering or not? What is this is called? Row. What is this is called? Columns. I think you are following me. So here len of A, len of A will give you what? 2. So how do you write the data? How do you write the data? Here I am writing. Mind blowing. Here I am writing. Here I am writing. For what? K in range of what? len of what? A. len of A. Now here I am writing. Here I am writing like this. Here I am writing. For okay, my bracket and all I will take care. Listen the class. And I will take care about what? Here I will write it. K. Like that I am writing. Please observe it. What is coming? You observe it. Are you getting or not? Are you getting? Same thing. This is the same thing. I am printing like that. If you want, you can write one more thing. If you want, you can write like this. You are getting this is one matrix. This is another matrix. Two matrices. Two times with the two rows and what? Two columns. Are you able to follow? Right. Now I will go to, now I'll go to, here I will take it. Go to this place. Here I'm going to write it. 2 comma 2 comma 2. You say this entire thing. You got like this. You try to print this entire data. You try to print this entire data and see this now. What is happening? Are you getting the data or not? Three for loops I am using. First for loop, cluster ID. Second for loop, matrix number. Third for loop, columns of each matrix. Cluster, row matrix, column matrix. IJK, cluster ID, row, columns. For loop in, for loop in, for loop. Nested for loops concept only. I'm just rounding and I'm printing my samples. Are you following? Not following. By looking at your face, I can understand. So, this is called what? Matrix of what? Three for loops. First for loop, cluster. Second for loop, rows of each matrix. Third for loop, column of each matrix. Understood? So after going to home, keep this document, work out. And read our Python notes first and then work out on it. This is about which function? Rand function. Rand function. Anything changes are required, you do the changes, no problem. Understand? Fine. Shall I move to the further now? What is this now? Syntax number 3. Syntax number 3. What it is going to give you? What it is going to generate? Generating. This is going to be called what year you got it? 1D. Generating random floating point values, value comma times between 0 to 0 with what? With what here? One dimensional. With 1D. Here with what? 2D. With 2D. Next I am going to write it. Next I am going to write it. Here value and times. Instead of value and times, instead of making you to confuse, I will write what? Rows and what? Columns. Random floating point values. What is this now? Row and then what? Columns. It is better for your understanding purpose I am writing. This is also called what? Number of matrices. Number of what? Matrices, comma what? Row, comma what? Columns. Columns. Generating random number of floating point values with what? Number of matrices with rows and columns between what values? 0.02, 1.0 of what? With 3D. With 3D. With 3D. Don't be under the impression that these concepts are all we will understand. We will not understand. Nothing is there. Beginning, I written a length of A. There I got a problem. Yeah, the length of A will be integer. Integer where data cannot be iterated. That's why range data I forget to take range. That's why you got little confused. Because already you don't know range. That's why I confused you. Finally, you got confused. Because you are confusing master. Clear up? Clear up? Online students, it's fine. Right. Good. Now I am going for what? Uniform. So these are all the numbers will come between 0.0 to what? 1.0. I want my random floating point values between my own distance and designated floating point values. Go. I am going to enter into another one. Same. Go to the Jupyter notebook. Create. I am going to take a here multiple examples are there and create an example of this is randint. I go forward. Come to the point back. Here I am writing. Look at this carry. Here I am saying create an object of array by using one function uniform. What is uniform says? Please look at uniform. I am saying what? 10 comma 15. 10 comma 15. I am passing integer data and then integer data. Between these integers, value will not come. Between 10 to 15, one float point value will come. One float point value will come. Look at that. One float point value will come. 15 will not come. 10 will not come. What will come? Middle of it. Earlier you got 0.02, 1.1. Both of them are exclusive. 0.0 will not come. 1.0 will not come. If you want your float point value between that, I am going to use this one. One more thing. You see, one more time you run it. It is a float value got it. What is this now? Same. What is coming? 14 point. Getting out. Now you only talk about it. Now I am writing 10.5. Such a close level I am giving. 10.5. What will not come? 10 will not. What will not come? 10.5 will not. What are the possibilities? 10.1, 10.2, 10.3, 10.4, 10.10, 10.102. After the dot, you see how many decimal places are coming. Are you following, students? The main ranks you see 99.68, 9333445, etc. Such a big dot will come after that or not. That's all called what? Based on your sample data, they are giving you one ranking system exactly by using uniform distribution. That is an actual application point of it. See this now. What is coming? 10.09. Are you following? 10.09. If I round it, it will become what? Point. That's all. If I round it, it will become round చేస్తాను చూడండి. Round of what? A comma 2 అని. A comma 2. See that what is coming? 10.47. Another random number. Getting. If I say 3, the third one will come. 3 digits will come. Getting up? Confused? Getting up? Confused? Right. See, one integer, one float. One integer, one float. Now I am going to get it. Now I am going to get it. 100. 100. And next is what? Next is I am going to say 105. 100.2. 105.2. 105.2. The total data will be what? Between 100.2 to what? 105.2. How many? Only one is coming. Are you following me? Yes. Shall I move forward? What is the value coming? Floating point random number. Go there. Go there. Now I am saying, come on fast. Help of NP dot uniform of what? Random dot. Yes, exactly. Correct. Random dot what? Uniform. Uniform. See that what is coming? Come on fast. Uniform is what? What is the next term? What is the size? That means low you can pass by default any value, and high you can pass the value. If I don't pass low and high, what the value will be taken? Default value 0.0, 1.0. What are these arguments are called? Default arguments. Functions concept. City is equal to Hyderabad for all the people. Go there. Once again, I will write it. Here I am writing. I am not writing anything. Here I am not writing anything. Who is that? Srikanth. Keyword argument. Write imposition. That is not keyword arguments. That is a function definition. I opened it. This is a function definition. I opened it. Function definition. I opened it. That is called function definition. Right. See that here I did not pass anything. When I did not pass anything, what is the default value? 0.0. Next what? 1.0. So, okay, sir, by mistake. If you say by mistake to interviewer will not say mistake is mistake only, go to home. So you should be careful. Are you following me? Now, come to next. Comes to next. 8. Now what I am passing? 8 comma what? 9. What is the value of low now? 8. What is the value of high? Between 8 to 9, one floating point value will come. Functions is the main important here. Functions is the main important here. Functions is the main important. Without knowing functions, if you look at, nothing will happen. 360 degrees eyes also open, nothing will happen. Functions knowledge is important. Next. Next. What is the next? Size. Rand, you got confused now. Now you understand at least. You only tell me. I'm not going to say anything. You only tell me. I'm not saying anything. You only understand. You only say everything. 10 comma 20 comma 4. 10 comma 20 comma 4. What is this 8 and 9 and then 10 and 20? Between 10.0 to 20.0, one random number will come by default. But what I am saying today, what is the meaning of 4? 4 samples. Between what? 10 to 20. What value? Floating point values. Integers are floating point values. See that now. See that now. I said A, round off, I said. A, I will write it. See that now. How many samples? 4. What is the dim? What is the dim, guys? What is the dim? Yes. 1D. Got it or not getting? Getting or not getting? Getting. Easy or difficult? Easy. Now I will say here. Now I will say here 6. I'll write 6. What is the meaning? I don't understand. Between 10 to 20, floating point values, 6 samples. 1D or 2D? Yes, 1D. Got it or not? Can you generate 2D samples? Yes. How? Come on. Come on, guys. Come on. Here I will write it. Here I will write it. 2 comma 2. 2 comma 2. How I mentioned it like this. Come on. What did you understand? What did you understand? Between 10 to 20, by default, one sample will come. Today, two rows, two columns. Are you getting or not? Yes. A dot what? Print of what? Dim. Dim, dim. Comma, what is this? N dim. N dim. Print of what? Shape is equal to A dot what? Shape. Who is that asking today? How to install Jupyter Notebook? Bhavika. Bhavik. Bhavik. Bhavik, are you boy or girl? So that my answer I will give you. Are you boy or girl? Bhavik? Maybe boy, I think so. Bhavik, are you boy or girl? Bhavik, are you boy or girl? He's thinking. Boy. You write imposition, my dear student. I already said how to download, na? I already said how to download. Last 2 days class also I said how to download. Anaconda Jupyter Notebook freely download. Community edition I shown. There if we click it, it will take 20-25 minutes to install. But you download. Now go for this now. What is this now? Dimension 2 shape is like this. Are you able to follow? Right. Getting or not? So this is the way how you are going to find this now. Last and final, you only tell me, you only tell me of what? 3 comma 2 comma 2. 3 comma 2 comma 2. Quickly, quickly. Between these 10 to 12, one random number will come floating point, 3 matrices, 2 rows, 2 columns. So you are going to get 3 matrices, first matrix, second matrix, third matrix, 2 rows and 2 columns. 2 rows and 2 columns. 2 rows and 2 columns. These are all related to what? Uniform distribution I am going to draw. I am going to get this uniform distribution. Sometimes I'll get this value. Sometimes I'll get this value. What is my frequency of occurring? I will give the majority of the decision here only. Because major portion of my decision is occupying the values here only. I will prefer this area to select it. In analysis part, this is an important. And don't think that by seeing this output, don't feel happy. I will write the diagram. I'll write the diagram. Are you following? Simple students. I have list of colleges. I have list of ranks where majority of the students will get the admission in the colleges. I'll study my students' percentage of marks. I'll see the ranking system in which college. Majority of the students are coming under one uniform distribution of their marks. I'll decide the college name. It's called predicting models. Predicting models. Now you are getting in website now. College predictor something is coming or not. When you enter your rank, your all ticket number and everything, they are giving these are the colleges you will get something they are saying or not. How they will come to know? Same, same concept only they are using it. So this point, and don't think by seeing this output, don't think that it is not completed. Still there is a discussion about what? Uniform distribution and a normal distribution concept I will explain. Okay, this only thing is you remember practically how it is using. So what is this conclusion? Uniform syntax is what? Here I will take care. Here I will take care. What is this now? Between programmer defined choice, I said this function. Come on. What is this now? Uniform. As it is, the uniform will come. As it is, uniform will come. What is the default uniform value? 0.0 to 1.0. I have shown you already syntax or not? Here. Understand, students? What is the size by default coming? 1. 1. Any random floating point value. Next is called what? Uniform. Uniform I am writing. Uniform. What is this uniform says? Say what here? Say what here? Low comma what? High. Low comma high is nothing but rows and columns. So floating point values. Floating point values. What is this now? Low and high. Between what? Between low and high value, low and high value. If you want, I can say here rows as well as what? Columns. Columns. I said uniform of 10 and then 12. 10 and 12 means between these floating point values in the form of rows and columns. Between these two numbers, floating point values will come. Similarly, here also, what is this now? This is syntax number 3. Of course, this is called what? 2D. 1 minute, student. Any random floating point value. This is called what? Generating single random value. Generating number of generating any random floating point value between 1 minute, students. I'm going since I copied now, that's why. Generating any random floating point value between low and high. High. What is the default size? 1. That's why I wrote any random floating point value. Already example here. Already example. If you fully concentrate, you will understand. If you concentrate here and there, you will not get anything. 8 and 9. 8 and 9. Only one random value coming or not? What is the size value? 1. What is the size value here? 4. 4. That is my next syntax. If you look here and there, nothing will come. Here I am writing low comma high, low comma high, low comma high. There I am writing uniform, uniform. What is this now? Size. Generating random floating point values. Rows and columns between what? Low and what? High. High. With what? With size. Size. That is nothing but what? Which one? 2 dimension. That is 2 dimension. That size says what? 2 dimension. That too size is called what? Single value. Size is called what? Single value. Single value will give you what? 1D only. There I will give you 1D. If size is what? I will write another point there. I'll write another point there. This is 1 point. One more point is what? If size is what? Rows and columns between high and high with size, where it is going to contain what? Rows into what? Columns. That is called what? 2D. Take it. Here, example which I said 10 to 4. What is the 4? 4 samples. Here 6. 6 samples. 1D. Here what? 2 comma 2. 2D. Here 3 comma 2 comma 2. 3D. Are you following? This is the significance. That is what I am saying in my notes also. Size. Size is single value like this. Rows and columns. This one. I will take up one more here. One more here. One more thing. What is this now? What is this now? Matrices. Matrices, comma what? Rows and columns. That is called what? With a size of what? Matrices, comma this one. That will give you what? 3D. If you follow, there is a very good taste is there. If you look here and there without knowing Python, all those things, it is a problem. This is comes under what concept? What is the concept here? Uniform. Next concept is what? Randint normal. I will go to the further. This concept I will go to randint in tomorrow. Tomorrow is a Saturday, and you will feel that you are a software engineer, project manager, everything. Don't go to underground. Come to the class tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9:15 sharp. 9:15 a.m. sharp. Right, students. Students, time is almost over. 10:55. Almost. Concept is completed. Don't miss tomorrow class. I'll send this entire notes for you. Try to take